trenches, politics, TV up in this piece. When we get on live stream, niggas, cause I wanted to get high. I'm gonna get it high today, nigga. I ain't even lying to you, gang.
24th and Irving Street Southeast. 3-year-old shot, CPR. It should be coming your way.
Copy loud and clear.
A 3-year-old girl who was shot in the Garfield Heights neighborhood in Washington, Southeast DC, Friday evening, has died. The little girl was in a car when she was struck in the 2400 block of Hartford Street. Police said they believe the car was caught in an exchange of gunfire before she was taken to a nearby firehouse on Irving Street in critical condition and flown to Children's Hospital, where she was later pronounced dead. Homicide detectives were called to the scene and are still investigating. Police do not have a motive or a suspect at this moment. The 3-year-old girl was later identified as Taya Settles of Southeast Washington, D.C.
News 4's Walter Morris is live for us in Garfield Heights tonight. Walter, what are you seeing there right now?
Well, Jim, as you saw, a young child in critical condition after that shooting here this evening. Now, police have been out here for a couple hours as they try and figure out exactly what happened and who hurt that little girl, but here's what we know so far. Now, you can see police have this huge section of the neighborhood blocked off while they continue this investigation, but if you just walk with me a little bit and take a look down the road. Now, we're standing here on Irving Street Southeast at Alabama Avenue. You can see police now have this entire street lined while they continue this investigation, but they say this all started around 9 p.m. That's when someone brought that little girl to the fire station with a gunshot wound. Now, police say they believe she is a toddler, approximately 3 years old. And when we heard from police briefly earlier, a rep for MPD describing her condition as extremely grave. Now, that child medevac by Park Police to the hospital, while detectives here began piecing all of this together. And we are still waiting for more details from MPD. We expect those any minute now, but at last update, they believe that shooting occurred somewhere around the corner on Hartford Street. So far, police say they have not located any other victims, and at last update, no word on a shooting, possible shooting suspect or a possible motive. But of course, we will continue to follow this story as it develops and bring you an update as soon as we can. Reporting live on Irving Street Southeast, Walter Morris, News 4.
All right, just Hartford.
Approximately shortly after 9 p.m., we responded for sounds of gunshots on Hartford Street, followed by a victim located at the firehouse behind me. We responded and located a 3-year-old female suffering from a gunshot wound. Our officers and DC Fire immediately rendered aid. She was transported by U.S. Park Police helicopter to a local hospital where she has unfortunately succumbed to her injuries. My deepest condolences go out to her family. As of right now, we're very early in the early stages of the investigation. What I can tell you is that in the 22 to 2400 block of Hartford Street, we have located multiple shell casings. There's no lookout at this time, but we're asking the community to step up. We really need your help. Anyone with any information, please reach out to us at 202-727-9099 or text us at 50411.
Was she inside of a home?
No, what we have right now is that she was inside of a vehicle.
So she was an intended target. This is a stray bullet?
Based on what we have right now, we don't believe that she was the intended target.
The 7th District Station is right across the street. Were officers able to, they heard the gunshots and they came out? Also waiting until over here in front of the firehouse? Just keep tell us to see what the best information.
Absolutely. So as I said earlier, officers were immediately on scene. Our officers and DC Fire immediately began rendering aid and performing life-saving.
On the crime scene, there were suspects being walking out in handcuffs, but the mayor confirmed later on in the press conference that these 2 suspects didn't have anything to do with the issue. But like a lot of these comments were saying on the Instagram page that uploaded the situation, what makes the situation way worse is that the 7th District Police Station is less than a 5-minute walk from where the crime scene happened. And it also says we need to do better as a community because it's clear that the mayor of DC doesn't give a fuck about anybody. But for this to be the place where the president lived, the mayor and the president seem to have no control over the shit. It seems like. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Is it the fact that they don't care, or they just don't have no control over the situation anymore and they just try to cover it up like some of these comments said? Let me know what y'all think. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and share the video out. Drop a comment to the situation. Thank you.
I saw a person walked out in handcuffs from the scene taken into the 7th District. Was that person connected to this at all, or do you have any information about that?
Absolutely. They were not connected to any arrests related to this case. The 7th District officers had 2 arrests while securing the scene. This was a very tumultuous situation. Tempers were high, but the arrest had nothing to do with the shooting.
Yeah, was there anyone else you found that was injured here? And could you give us a sense of what the scene was, where you found the shell casings? Did you know if there were a lot of people out and about around that time, around 9 o'clock? Or do you have any sense at all what's going on in the area at the time?
So again, we're in the very, very early stages, but the shell casings were located on the sidewalk and in the street area. Based on what we have now, I think we can say preliminarily it looked like an exchange of gunfire. But right now, again, very early, and that's all we have in reference to that.
What's your response to someone who may live here and say the police department's right down the street, and yet a 3-year-old girl still gets shot? I don't feel safe here.
I would definitely say this is an absolute tragedy, and it's unacceptable. A 3-year-old little girl lost her life today. My phone should be ringing right now. We really, really need the community to reach out and help us.
Any idea how many shooters? You mentioned an exchange of gunfire. Are we talking about 2 people, or is it possibly more?
As of right now, we don't know. It's still very unclear.
Ma'am, do you have a suspect description or a suspect vehicle description by any chance?
We do not. At this time, we have no lookout.
Any other questions?
You said multiple shell casings. An estimated number of how many shots were fired here? Because we're hearing dozens.
Right now, it's part of the investigation, so we're sorting through that right now. Detectives are out trying to look for camera footage and doing tallies in reference to that, but we don't have a final number.
Do you know who this little girl was with in the vehicle? Was it her parents, and who brought her to the fire station?
So right now, we believe it to be a family member, but that's all we're able to give at this time.
All right, thank you guys.